Welcome to Like Pigs in Space, an arts and culture podcast. My name's Aaron Mason.
And I'm Max Mason. And it's my
And
birthday.
yeah, it's everybody say happy birthday to Max.
Yeah, have to.
You have to. It's a rule. Well, good. I'm glad
Yeah.
you made it to your birthday.
Yeah, it's been good. There's a donut place here in Portland called Pips. And they sell like little mini donuts with, different toppings and whatnot. But on your birthday, you get a free dozen.
Nice.
Which is a lot. So we did that this morning. And I got some. They have a lot of different flavors, but really the best one is just like the cinnamon sugar one, I think.
Nice.
But they also had a seasonal one that was the vanilla bean cheesecake.
Ooh.
And that was pretty great.
Yeah, that sounds delightful.
Yeah, they do that, and they do a bunch of like house-made chais that are all different. Like all have like weird mixtures. Like Chloe got one that had like smoked chai leaves in it.
Okay. Yeah.
But a lot of really interesting ones that are kind of fun.
You did you go to Time Market here with?
Yeah.
So they went with Josie and Abe took Ezra yesterday, and they got some different croissants, and they had a baklava croissant.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of good.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good. We like their pizza's good there. We like going there for their pizza.
Yeah, I know. I really like their like Thanksgiving one. They had one.
Yeah, I know.
So good.
It's crazy stuff. Yeah, I like that one a lot. I tried to make a point because we were getting close to your birthday. And I wanted to make a point of remembering it because, especially since Ezra came home and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, okay, can't just talk about Ezra. Can't forget Max actually exists.
Yeah,
I know we're kind of blinded by all the stuff we had to do to get ready, but
yeah,
I just wanted to make sure it was that you got recognized.
Yeah. I feel recognized.
Okay, good. Well, good. Well, I will turn it over to you.
Okay.
And I won't bring up all the stuff that made me late, so
that's okay.
Because it's a lot of family drama that you don't need to deal with.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Well, I am not going to take a break from music, and I'm going to talk about music again. I know.
Oh man. Okay, no. Awesome.
But it's going to be a little different because this is the last two albums and artists I was kind of late to hearing about them or taking the time to hear about them.
Okay.
When this album I was not late to and and was very much on top of, and we'll get into later a little early to also.
Okay.
But first, you're going to talk about some background stuff.
Okay.
That might not seem related, but it'll come up. So first, we're going to talk about, hopefully I can pronounce this right, Zoroastrianism.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You've heard of it? It's,
a lot.
It's a very old religion, and I guess, you go to India, so it's pretty popular in India, but it was started in Iran is where its origins are. But yeah, it's like one of the earliest like monotheistic religions.
Right.
And just some, basic stuff here. And it looks like they held elements in really high regard, like specifically earth, water, and fire, like very sacred.
Okay.
So one of the questions I think is probably important with a lot of religions is, what's the afterlife, and what do you do when you're dead? And as far as I can tell, with Zoroastrianism, heaven and hell are just kind of like a holding place,
right,
until the end of humanity, where their god Aruha Mazda, might be pronouncing it right. Until the end of humanity, he'll come and create a perfect new earth for everyone to live in.
Okay.
So, but before that, there's also very specific ritual with the burial process. And it's a little different because they view earth and water and fire as sacred elements, like having them connected with the dead, with dead bodies, would like taint them, make them unsacred. So you can't just bury somebody. You can't just cremate somebody. And the way they did this was they put bodies in what they call towers of silence. Okay. It's kind of like a translation. But they're basically these big open pits with tall walls, and they put the bodies in there and let them be eaten by like wild dogs and carrion birds, like vultures and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So that was their way around it, to not have to cremate or bury people. So nowadays, they used to be a pretty big religion, but now it's more around like 100,000 or so members. And it's kind of seen as like a dying religion. And it's kind of interesting, like, this key tenet where what they do if they're dead is starting to not work for them because vultures don't come around anymore. Like in the 90s, 97% of vultures in those areas went extinct or died.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to kind of see a religion like lose steam like that by something that's kind of out of control, like just birds not coming around anymore.
Right. So, do you know who notably was a Zoroastrian?
No.
So Freddie Mercury's family.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were.
Nice.
So that's where he came from.
Cool.
Since it's music,
Yeah.
I thought that was relevant.
Yeah.
No, I've studied that quite a bit because it's monotheistic and it does hold a lot of similarities to LDS doctrine. So because of the holding place and all those kind of things, where there's a lot of similarities, so that I've studied it.
Nice. Yeah. So that's about as much as I want to talk about there.
All right.
And then I'm going to jump ahead a little bit.
Okay.
Kind of to like a similar topic as last week, where you're talking about the background of the world when like modernist poetry kind of took off with like the Depression and the effects of like a world war.
Yeah.
So this takes place in France, and there was a group. I'm not going to try and say it in French, but it was the ENS, and it was it's like top level educational institute in France in like the early 1900s. Who one of the things they really valued with their students was military service.
Oh.
And because of that, because World War I happened, there was a big loss. There was like an entire generation of mathematicians lost because of that war. Just people who were killed and couldn't pass on the knowledge to the next generation.
Yeah.
And so a bunch of alumni from that same group got together to create textbooks that they could just pass down and preserve mathematics in case something like that would happen again. But they didn't want to give anybody sole credit for it. There's about, I think in the original group, like 10 people all working together. But they didn't want to give anybody sole credit. So they created a pseudonym that was based on the last name of a French general who served under Napoleon III, not Bonaparte, but like his great nephew or something like that.
Okay.
And that guy's name was Charles Denis Bourbaki.
Okay.
So the name they came up with as their group is Nicholas Bourbaki.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and still to this day, I guess the group still meets and still updates their book, and it was like Elements of Mathematics. But they still get together, and a lot of the things they developed in the 30s and onward were used in the development of new math in the 1960s, like this new way of teaching math.
Right.
And they also created a couple of symbols that are used in math today, like the empty set symbol, which is like an O with a line through it.
Right. Okay.
And another thing, it kind of looks like a tilted Z, but is the dangerous bend, which just kind of marked that it was a difficult problem, like difficult math equation. So it's like, you're going to have a hard time with this one.
Hey, guess what?
But yeah, that was that group. They're kind of interesting. There's kind of fun to read about how they developed this. There's also a good amount of humor like in the group. Like,
oh, good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about all I had to talk about there.
Yeah, I thought of something, but we'll get back to it. So keep going.
Okay. Well, I'm going to jump ahead one more time to 2009.
All right.
Where in Columbus, Ohio, there was a group formed called 21 Pilots.
I did after you named that group, guess where you were headed, but that's really cool.
Yeah, so it was started by Tyler Joseph, and then there's also two other people in the band when it first formed. It was Chris and Nick were their names.
Okay.
And Chris played drums, Nick was on bass. But they both left around like 2011 or so to focus on family and other things. And that's when we get Josh Dunn coming in on drums. And from that point on, that was the band.
Right.
And they were pretty like good about putting albums out pretty consistently. Like their self-titled came out 2009, and then Regional at Best came out 2011. And then that's when they got signed, and they put out Vessel in 2013, which took a couple of songs from Regional at Best and remastered them.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because like Regional at Best, part of their deal with being signed is like Regional at Best couldn't be on streaming services anymore.
Okay.
So sometimes they make a joke like it's like it doesn't exist.
Right. Right.
So you get that, we get Vessel, and then 2015 we get Blurry Face, which was huge, massive album for them.
Right.
And then they toured that album pretty consistently for the next 2 years.
Okay.
Pretty nonstop until 2017. They just disappeared without a trace. There was like an eyeball that like each day kind of closed a little more, having some lyrics from past songs and even some songs off of Regional at Best that weren't the re-recorded ones.
Okay.
And then they were gone for a year. Like no one heard from them. There was no updates to any account. They were all just completely blacked out. Yeah, they just disappeared.
That's fun.
Which is also crazy because it was like at the height of their popularity. I think it was like just a couple months after the Heathens came out.
Right.
And they did their last music video for the album. So they were gone. And then on April 21st of 2018, people noticed that on their shop, on their like merch site, there was a GIF that would play over and over that was just like stitches of their music videos.
Oh, cool.
And there'd be like little static in between each one. And people noticed like, oh, in the static, this URL appeared just out of nowhere.
Nice.
So you followed it and you were taken to this site. It's dmaorg.info was the site. And the site was just contained all this like cryptic letters and images and like these weird codes on when they were posted, and talked about this city called Dima.
Nice.
And it was full of images, including vultures and towers of silence that were kind of what Dima looked like, what it was built like.
Yeah.
Except city size.
Yeah. Cool.
And there was a child that was there, like a picture of a child, but he's kind of like covering his eyes. And people found out that there was an original photo of that standing. The original photo is that kid standing next to this guy who was one of the original members of Nicholas Bourbaki.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so all this stuff was happening and it was really weird. And I remember being a part of it on like Reddit, like watching each of the updates come in whenever they happened.
Yeah.
But it was weird because with the band being gone, there's still a chance that none of this is just some weird thing that like somebody hacked into.
Yeah.
But it was really fun during that time until July 9th of 2018. The eyeball that closed started opening again and it was a different color.
That's so much fun.
Yeah. And then on July 11th, they announced they're coming out with a new album and put out two singles to kind of welcome everybody into this new era.
Nice.
And in the music video, it explored a lot of the world of Trench that they created about Dima and Clancy, who had written these letters, about the Banditos and about the Bishops and their deal, how they work into all this. And I have this like big regret. Like I never get too often that feeling of like, oh, I wish I could listen to this again for the first time.
Right.
Like most things, like especially if it's something I enjoy, still enjoy it as much as the first time, if even more later. Yeah. But the only thing where I kind of was like, oh, I wish I could listen to this again for the first time, is the song Jumpsuit, because when I went to go like watch the music video, I got an ad for like the announcement of their tour that played the end of Jumpsuit in it. So I was
wow.
Like, oh, it spoiled the ending before I even got to listen to it for real.
No. Oh, man.
So I felt kind of bummed about that. But it was great, and I'll get into more of it later. But here's what I want to say, like how I was maybe a little early to this album is there was a leak of the album like a day or two before it came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll listen to some of it, just see what it's like. And so the first two songs had already come out as singles, so I skipped them. But when I got to the third track, I didn't believe it. It's like, no, this is just some joke. This is not what a 21 Pilots song sounds like. Like I just listened to the synth, like I didn't listen to any vocals. Yeah. And it was like, this is so different from everything else they've ever done. Like I don't believe it. And so I didn't listen to the rest of it. Oh. It's like, I'll just wait a couple days till I get the official one, and then I'll know for sure if it's really them.
Yeah. Well, it was different, right?
It was really different. Another really cool thing about this is that the album was recorded and produced pretty much entirely by Tyler at home.
Oh, wow.
Like in his basement.
Yeah.
The only other people to help were Josh and Paul Meany of Mute Math.
Okay.
who they done a tour for, and they had a video series where they remixed a couple songs live together.
Oh, cool.
So he co-produced a couple of tracks on the album just to give it a little more life
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And really, like, the only thing, as far as I can tell, that wasn't recorded at Tyler's house were the drums.
Oh, okay.
But it's crazy because this album like has such a huge sound. Like it's really is like this whole world. And knowing that it came out of just someone's basement is pretty incredible.
I have to. So unlike the previous albums that you've talked about, I know this one pretty well, or at least. And I want to say I fully agree. And you guys got us addicted to this band, in previous albums. And so I was there for when this came out, I was ready for it to come out, and it's mind blowing. It really is. They did that good job of creating a world.
Yeah.
It's a pretty mind blowing album. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. And I think one of the ways that they really brought it to life the best is like symbolism has been a big thing with 21 Pilots. Like the whole time, they've always been very symbolic about things. Their logo, the little like line, it's called the kitchen sink, and their intention with it was like it doesn't really have a meaning, but they want to create a logo and put meaning into it. That is specific to them, and they've never told out anybody like what that meaning is, because they want people to do the same, like just take this logo and make it mean what you want it to mean to you.
As you're explaining that, I think it's interesting, kind of the story arc of the last several podcasts, because we talked already about this, about doing what is good for you, and then having other people catch up.
Yeah.
And so, like with them, they've always in their lyrics just said stuff that's their world, and let everybody else try and figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because they don't ever give in and let you know too often.
Yeah, not really.
I did hear like Anthony Kiedis talk about writing for the Chili Peppers, and he started saying, well, that girl in that song is also the girl in this song. And think like he has a world.
Yeah.
And so you're like, this is really cool when people have this world. They have we talk about like the Marvel universe. There's a 21 Pilots universe, and there's a Red Hot Chili Peppers universe, and different characters come into play. It's so great because it makes those fictitious characters sometimes personal to them and creates some depth, I think.
I think even with them, like because it feels so lively, this trench world, they've even like kind of joked that like Nicholas Bourbaki, that group, was inspired by Dima originally.
That's so good. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Let's claim credit for a whole thing. Well, we uncovered this.
Right. Okay. And I think it's also really good for like fans of the group, because like you get this whole new world and it already feels familiar to you. I got a couple things here. Like the map of Dima, the city, has the 9 towers in the middle that are based off of the Blurry Face cover with the 9 dots on it.
Yes.
There's like this few the proud and emotional that comes out of Fairly Local, but that FPE acronym has been used in a lot of stuff since then. Like on the Dima.org site, it was used as like a failed perimeter escape. And I think in one of the music videos, I think for Backslide, there was like a convenience store, and it was like food, petrol, etc. And then that even comes up again on the last track of Clancy, the Paladin Strait, that mantra comes back. And another one like that's come up a lot is from a song on their first album called A Car, a Torch of Death. And it's not like one of the hugest songs on the album, like not one of the most popular ones, but this symbolism of a car, a torch, and a death is huge across Trench, especially, and especially in the jumpsuit music video. It starts with Tyler like standing on a burning car, and it kind of cuts back and forth to that throughout it. And then there's the torchbearers who are like standing on the cliff, like throwing the petals down.
Right.
And then at the end, he dies as he's like recaptured by the bishop.
I think this comes up again in the latest release too, is the torched car stuff too.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad they keep it going. It's good stuff.
And it's kind of funny because, like, this world didn't really start until Blurryface. Like, Blurryface was just like
Yeah.
creating that character as like, okay, what is like this representation of his insecurities?
Right.
Was all that Blurryface was.
Okay.
But then he, obviously exploded it into this. But it makes it seem like, and they, using things that they've already released, it can make it seem like they've had this plan the whole time, like from day one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's revisionist history, but in a very fun way.
Yeah. Yeah, and then even a couple of songs on Trench are almost like continuations or responses to some of their past songs
Sure.
themselves. And then it's always been like they're very for their fans.
Yeah. And not as you mentioned, the call outs to the past ones, they even on the new album create a universe for why they made the previous release and how it's kind of out of character for the Trenched world because and it's just like we did this funner album.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we were being forced to make a funner album.
Yeah.
And you're like, but still things are dark. But
yeah,
it's so good.
And that was I didn't really love Scaled and Icy when it came out, but seeing it in that context and seeing the like live stream concert they did, where it was a lot of those songs, like made me appreciate it a lot more. There's still a couple songs in there that I was just like, not a great one.
Yeah, it may be it's it's maybe a little not as much of them, maybe a little too poppy, but when you think they were forced to do this,
right,
then you're way I'm gonna support them because they were forced to do this.
Yeah, there's still that like song, the Never Take It, that like just because of when it was released kind of sounds like an anti-vax song.
Oh yeah, oh no.
So I was like, I know that's not what they're going for, but
yeah.
Anyways,
okay.
So let's get into it.
Okay.
So first song, Jumpsuit. This is such a crazy left turn from everything that was Blurryface and everything that made them blow up. Because like nothing has ever sounded this noisy or heavy in their past works. It's the bass sound is massive and just so in your face the whole time. And it's also kind of fun that this song doesn't really have a chorus.
Okay.
It has like a refrain, but they're just part of the verses, really.
Right.
And it kind of reminded me of a lot of the songs that we wrote for Blank Year.
Yeah.
In my band in high school.
Yeah.
We didn't write choruses too much.
Yeah. Just to give a shout out, that band was great. I just found it again. I just found your SoundCloud, maybe,
or Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, yeah. I just found your Bandcamp, and because I had it linked, and I listened to them again. I like it. It was good
fun.
Stuff.
It was fun.
I'm sad it didn't go further, but I know why. There's lots and stuff, but I'm sad it didn't go further.
Even like the second break after the first verse, there's like these siren synths that are crazy because he's breaking out.
Yeah.
Just a wild song. And getting to like some of the lyrics, there's like the refrain of the jumpsuit cover me. There's like hope that his disguise will be enough to help him escape. Like this jumpsuit. It I don't know where it comes from, but there's like this piece of lore that the yellow that they use is a very specific kind of yellow that the bishops can't see.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Even though a lot of the jumpsuit is green, it just has those like yellow stripes on it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that's part of it, is like hoping that this jumpsuit is enough of a disguise.
Maybe it's like zebras running together type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be enough to, leave this place that he hates. Even though there's fear and pressure about going to this new place that's unknown, he just knows he got to get out of this place that he hates.
Sure.
And I think the bridge in this song is especially really great because it shifts the entire tone of the song from that like first piano chord. It's so good and so like just the right sound. Like everything on this album is like just the right sound. But it just completely changes the whole mood. There's also like when that chord comes in the music video, there's a little like turn of a vulture head. That was originally shown on that Dema.org website.
Oh, wow.
So kind of fun just tying that all together. And then what he says in the bridge there. So it's, I'll be right there, but you'll have to grab my throat and lift me in the air. I'll stop my plans, but you'll have to tie me down and then break both my hands.
Yeah.
So this is like tying in the whole Blurryface thing. Because during Blurryface, he had the like black paint on his neck and hands. And that's like what his insecurities are. It's like what he says, with his throat, and what he plays, musically And so being choked or having his hands crushed is that continuation of that metaphor, you know.
Nice. That's really good.
Really, yeah, there's really great writing.
This is an absolute love fest when talking about them. I
Yeah.
mean, it's good to go over it critically, but it
Mhm.
really is. They're a special thing.
It's so great. And yeah, you get the huge screaming outro, and then this like little glittery synth that turns into a sample for the next track,
Okay.
which is Levitate.
Oh,
And so yeah, if you listen to it, there's this like seamless transition into Levitate after Jumpsuit of that sample,
all right.
and it adds these like crisp, really punchy hip hop's kind of style drums, and then you get like this really tight, fast rap from Tyler, basically the whole song. And it's easily like one of the best verses he's ever done. And that's pretty much the whole song. Is like there's a little bit of an intro chorus, but then the rest is just one big verse.
Right. Oh, cool.
And I want to talk about the drums a little more because the way they're mixed so consistently on the album that it feels like it's Josh, which is like a really hard thing to do. Is like he's not singing, he's just doing the drums. So how do you make him feel like a part of the band?
Right.
And I think like the way he's mixed these drums is very unique and very consistent through the whole album. So it feels like Josh is there just as much as Tyler is singing.
That's neat. That's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's stayed that way even now. Like every album since then, the drums have sounded pretty similar.
Yeah.
And then this song also has ties to Car Radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like in Car Radio, he sings what is it? My lungs will fill and then deflate. They fill with fire, exhale desire.
Right.
That part. And the first like chorus in Levitate has the ever since the 7th grade I learned to fire breathe kind of imagery.
Oh, okay.
But then there's also in Car Radio, there's like somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence. So you get this again silence coming into play. But in Levitate, he says, "I got back what I once bought back in that slot. I won't need to replace."
Oh, cool.
So he's like, I've got my radio back.
Oh, wow. I didn't make that connection. Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah. But yeah, it's just got crazy production too. Like all these like vulture squawks coming in, and you get like this very dark chords at the end and like a campfire sound. And it's a really wild song, like pretty experimental instrumentation.
Okay.
Which is always kind of weird saying about 21 Pilots because people are like, oh, they're experimental because they change tempos in a song. You know, previously.
Yeah.
But now it's like, this is actually like genuinely strange and weird production that is experimental.
Nice.
But yeah, great song, great like intro to the album too. And then you get track 3, which is Morph.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, this is what I said. Like, I didn't believe this was a 21 Pilots song. Like, just so different. It's a very hip hop inspired beat, very kind of minimal in that sense. But it also feels like it wants to fall apart the whole time. Like how the drums kind of like stop and go a lot, and even just the echo on the main keys makes it sound very rattly and you know, crumbly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever the right word is.
It's what you make it.
Yeah.
It's what you want it to be.
And this again, you know, is just more great verses. I just want to go through the first couple lines of the first verse.
Okay.
Where it's can't stop thinking about if and when I die. For now, I see that if and when are truly different cries. For if is purely panic, and when is solemn sorrow, and one invades today while the other spies tomorrow.
Right.
So this, you know, setting up like if and when, and then being like so if and when in this, just like filling out the bars and setting the scene so consistently and like with very simple words.
Cool.
Is just really fun. He does it a few times where he talks about above or under or around it. It's like, okay, so what's above, what's going under, what's going around.
Right. I like that thought process because it reminds me of some, you know, it's like it's almost like solving a problem, right? Because when we were younger, or when I was younger, you'd go to camp and like you're going on a bear hunt and you can't go over it, can't go around it, can't go through, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's almost echoing that kind of camp game.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And showing that, you know, those problems persist and you have to navigate the world. Do you go under, around, through, over, what?
Yeah.
Above it, below it.
Yeah. And I think in the verse he says, well, let's pick above and see what happens.
Yeah. Cool. That's good.
Yeah. And so like most of the songs on here, which is also like a really great kind of testament to how it's written, is that if you don't know anything about this whole Trench Dima story, you can still get tons out of it as just a song. So you can interpret it as, you know, having this like identity crisis or like a fear of fame or like morphing into somebody else. Or there's the Dima context of it, where this comes back a lot through the album, but it's this idea of moving and staying in motion as the only way out. Like if you stop too long, you'll be caught and reset or relapse in a way.
Oh.
And this song also answers the first goal of this album when Tyler was writing it, is what's Blurry Face's name? And he just straight out says it, and that's Nicholas Bourbaki. That's Blurry Face's name.
Okay. All right.
I think that's the second verse where he's like, he'll always try to stop me, that Nicholas Bourbaki. He's got no friends close, but those who know him most know he goes by Nico.
Right. Okay.
And that'll be another song, the Nico and the Niners.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So that's his name.
Okay.
And this chorus, I was thinking about this for a long time, and the chorus has this interpolation that I knew was a huge thing in funk or in G-funk songs, hip hop, and I couldn't remember what it was. I was thinking like maybe it's this whistle sound that's in a lot of 90s hip hop, but it's not quite that. It's this like rising synth sound that like jumps an octave, so it's like woo. That.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I found it. It's Summer Madness by Kool and the Gang.
Okay.
That it totally just rips off that rising synth from in the chorus. So it's super cool. Even like it doesn't exactly sample it, but references this like famous hip hop sample.
Cool.
Yeah, I was looking for it for so long. It's like I know this is a thing, and I know it's not just this whistle.
Yeah, you hate that when that plagues you like that a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then end of the song, you get the best lyric, which is "Not done, Josh done," which I think that was another joke with the band, where it's always like Tyler's like, I let Josh write one lyric or some lyrics every album, and the only thing he can come up with is his own name.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right. So next song, there's a lot of songs, so I can't go into as much detail as some last time we talked about albums. So I'm gonna kind of get through them. So we get My Blood. That's number 4.
Okay.
Again, a lot of the lyrics kind of tie into other songs like Semi-Automatic and Truce off of Vessel. Okay. Where darkness and nighttime especially are when Tyler's fears come to life. That's when he's feeling them the most. And now in My Blood, he wants to be a light or guide for people who also feel that way, and be that protection for people who have doubts and fears, because he knows that I know that's when darkness is what kind of brings us out, and I'm going to be a light, and I'm going to have a bat, and I'm going to help you.
Nice.
But yeah, it's got this really great disco style beat. The drums even are for as simple as a beat as it could have been, it's really involved, and there's a lot of very specific accents and tom hits that are kind of wild. And then again, the bass is just massive, and it's as big as a jumpsuit, but not as distorted.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah, great song.
Yeah. How many songs are on the album?
So there's 14.
Oh wow.
A pretty long album.
Yeah.
So track 5, we got Chlorine.
Yep.
It's another song where you really feel the size of this album. It feels huge, and you're in this huge room. And it almost kind of feels like a battle hymn for Dima, or for people leaving Dima, because there's just these lyrics of falling out of formation and a rebel flag, and even in how the choruses are sung, they're multi-tracked a lot. So it sounds like there's a lot of people singing it.
Oh, okay.
That's just, I don't know if that's the intention, but that's just kind of the feeling I was getting listening to it last time. And then the music video for the song also introduces Ned, who he's that little chubby guy who kind of looks like a koala.
Yes.
With the antlers.
Yeah.
or horns. I think he just had horns.
Yeah.
At this point. But he shows up again in the Outside music video, and I think in the Level of Concern music video too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a cool guy. But and I also think that he is somewhat remnant of the ears on that beanie that Tyler wears for the Clancy era.
Okay.
How it kind of has ears. I think that's also a little remnant of Ned.
Okay.
And then, yeah, the last chorus into the outro, it kind of feels like you're being pulled under chlorine, like, because it sounds like you're going underwater, but it feels a little different. Like, this isn't water. This feels like you're underneath chlorine.
Yeah.
Even like the way Tyler kind of like changes his voice a little bit in the last chorus, like changes the tone of it, makes it feel more,
Yes.
under liquid.
So it says sipping on straight chlorine,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And it reminds me there's a there's a song by the Dead Milkmen
Oh,
called,
yeah.
called Bleach Boys, and it's all about how he and his buddies hang. It's like, don't you want to hang out with the Bleach Boys, baby? And don't you want to drink some bleach tonight?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to be serious because probably the 21 Pod's a little more serious and meaningful song, and this one's just about guys not drinking and instead drinking bleach.
Yeah. I don't know.
So,
I feel like they'd appreciate that.
I'm sure they'd appreciate the song. They just wouldn't want to
Do it themselves.
yeah. Well,
I don't know.
maybe the chorus is at the end of the song. They just sing, "I'm so bored, I'm drinking bleach," over and over and over again. So that sounds kind of like an outro for a 21 Pilot song, if there ever was one.
They did do that Lavish song, and that's
yes. Oh, that's so good.
pretty wild song.
Yeah, that's a good
lyrically.
song. Yeah.
But yeah, these lyrics about chlorine, I think it is talking about indulging in chlorine in good and bad ways. Like, chlorine can be used to sanitize and clean things, but too much of it, drinking it straight is just poison. And so using that as like a metaphor for his fame and for I think even his like fans, and being like, this helps me focus more, clean up the noise. But also, like, sometimes I just have to, am afraid of, like, I hope this is good enough for people.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing lyrically about them is this song has its place on its own and in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so hard to do, to sacrifice. I mean, it's relatable on that level, on what you're talking about. Like, this could be his relationship with his fans, but it's also relatable on the fact that the standards of the bishops and all that stuff, are they really cleaning us up? Are we really behaving, or is this just a poison in a different guise, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. It's great. And then track 6, we get Smithereens, which is it's a break in the story. Like, it's not related to the story at all. I'm sure you could find out a way to, but it's not supposed to be. And it kind of reminds me how I really like when there's albums like that have this huge narrative to them. Yeah. But then the people are like, well, I also just had this song and it doesn't really fit, but I wanted it to be on the album. Yeah. So I think another example of that is the American Idiot. Oh, yeah. The song When September Ends isn't really a part of the whole American Idiot story, but he's just like, I just had this song and I thought it should be on the album.
Yeah, it paid off.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just this, this song is just for his wife. Okay. Which is something he's been doing also since Blurryface. 'Cause that's when he was married finally, or to his wife finally. In between that and Vessel. So yeah, Tear in My Heart was the Blurryface one. Okay. Smithereens is this one. Scaled and Icy had Formidable. Pretty sure was the one for her. And then Clancy had The Craving. Okay, yeah. So like and probably every album going forward is going to have some song for her on it. And he even like calls it out directly, like breaks the fourth wall in a way, and is like, I had to do one on the record for her like this. Yeah, that's good. And it's really sweet, like, even where it's like, he's like, I'm always going to do this. I'm always going to write a song for my wife, even if people don't like it, even if it's cheesy, even if it's seen as like selling out or whatever, I'm always going to do this for her. Yeah. And then this, I don't think it is as strong a tie as I thought it was. But last time I was listening to it, it reminded me of the Always and Forever by Kip at the end of Napoleon Dynamite.
That's awesome. That's pretty great. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it was a good break in the album, because the next song is a bit of a heavy one.
Okay.
So next track 7 is Neon Gravestones.
Okay.
Yeah, so this song is like very dark, like lightness. Like it feels like there's no lights on. Not like it's weird or like demented or anyway.
Right.
In some ways it is, but it also just feels like it's like
Right.
very low light.
Okay.
One of the things I really loved it last time when I was listening, you can hear like the clicking of the keys as they're being pushed down.
Okay.
And not that it's just, good production, good textured. And then a lot of the other production is really glitchy and weird, like vocal effects going on.
Yeah.
And so the song was obviously written in the wake of a few like very high profile musician suicides. Like Chris Cornell was around this time, but I think more impactful to Tyler was Chester Bennington.
Yes.
Obviously in Linkin Park being a huge influence on the band. And the whole song is about just not glorifying that suicide that happens. Like even if it's someone's like peaceful death, like with Ozzy Osbourne recently, all his stuff is like re-entering the charts.
Yeah.
And it's like I understand that feeling. Like, it's like at work they're playing tons of Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath songs all the time.
Right.
And it's like, well, if you really felt this, like I know you're doing a little bit as like a tribute, but it's a lot. And it's like, if you really felt this way, like he was this huge influence, like why weren't you doing this from the beginning?
Yeah. Well, hopefully some of them were.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened when Prince, like people came out of the woodwork to like, you didn't listen to Prince.
Yeah.
Until right now.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's about like not glorifying this and not glorifying, especially just, in his words, losing to suicide.
Right.
And even like it has a pretty like strong, like called shot in a way where he's like, promise me this, if I lose to myself, you won't mourn a day and you'll move on to someone else.
Yeah.
It's like, if I kill myself, like I succumb to these thoughts, move on. Like I'm not worth it.
Cool. Interesting. That's difficult to say because it could be canceling in some ways, but it is, it's okay to hope for a better way for everybody.
Yeah.
They don't have to take this final out, and maybe there's a different way.
Yeah. And yeah, that's also talked about in the song. It's like, in a way, I do appreciate that it's bringing awareness to this and making it less of a taboo so we can talk about it.
Right.
But also, like, people could use this in a bad way and try to send the wrong message with suicide. And in the end, he's like, well, we should celebrate something else, celebrate life. Like he says, find your grandparents and be basically be like, hey, thanks for not killing yourself.
Yes.
But in other ways than that.
Yeah.
And eventually he makes good on that sentiment on this album. We'll get to that later. But.
Okay.
But I really like also before we go on, in the last verse, it's pretty much, it's just Tyler and he's playing the piano. And as he gets more impassioned with his, vocals, you can tell that he's like hitting the keys a little harder. So it feels like it's live.
Yes.
Instead of, and maybe it was recorded like that, but it really fits, helps emphasize his point. Cool. So after that, we get The Hype, which is track 8, which I think kind of serves as a palate cleanse for, getting through Neon Gravestones, as heavy as that track is. I'm like, let's have something a little lighter.
Yes.
Because this song is super lush and super colorful. And it feels like the perfect combination of like an Oasis song and a Gorillaz song smashed together, and like as lush as any of the songs from those two artists can be.
Nice.
So again, there's that sentiment of like moving without sight.
Yeah.
And talking about the hype of the band and how, the songs were always before those closest to him. And like getting famous, getting recognition was never part of the plan. It was always just to put out music and hoping that it gets in front of the people who need it the most. So it's like, don't believe the hype. That's not what's important here. He's like, I don't even believe that we are this popular sometimes.
Yeah.
And that, people who are like him and who are close to him will be on his side. Whether or not an album is popular or sells really well, they'll always be there for him.
Right. Good.
Yeah. And then there's in the bridge this really quiet, kind of distorted vocal part hidden in the mix. That's taken from a vlog from really, really early in the band's history, like right around when Josh joined, where they're talking about like how 21 Pilots will function as a 2-person band. And they're just like, we're going to have to rely on technology and a lot of energy. And I hope people will respond to that.
I think it's worked.
Yeah. I really like this. I hope it was intentional because it's really great. That track 9 is Nico and the Niners.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be, right?
I hope so. So yeah, this was released along with Jumpsuit, and I think it is to like legitimize what was going on the Dima.org site, because it's like that website in song form.
Oh,
Like every
yeah,
like bit
yeah.
of symbolism and everything in those letters basically is condensed into this song. So I think it's just to be as like yep, that was us.
Neat.
Yeah, it's a fun song, but I feel like I've been mentioning a lot that the bridges of the songs are really, really great.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the rest of the songs are parts of the song are great too, but this one in the bridge, going into the last verse, the instrumental like slows down and then is reversed and like reharmonizes the rest of the song.
Okay.
So like even like the like hits of the drum are like the becomes like because they're just straight reversed.
Interesting.
And then you get the verse at the end where it kind of spells out what's going to have to happen with Nico and the Niners, that it's going to have to end in this great big battle, that they'll win, but not everyone will get out.
Right. Right.
So like it's going to, I think even setting up for Clancy and the next albums, like this is how it's going to end.
Right.
Right from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
This one, you said that the drums were like reverse recorded or something?
They were normal recorded, but in the chorus, the entire instrumental reverses and becomes the new instrumental.
Okay, because I've been pulling up the lyrics, and the first 3 lines of this one are backwards.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so
that's like, it's just the intro of the song, like the instrumental is straight, but yeah, it has that reversed speaking over it.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's yeah.
Is it the like, we denounce vialism?
Yeah.
You will leave. I think it's
you will leave,
you will leave
Dima
Dima and head true east.
Yeah, and we are banditos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Took me a second to.
Yeah. Fun stuff. All
yeah.
right. Sorry if I'm just kind of bursting through these. If
no,
you need me to stop or have things to say, you can just.
No, I've been trying to punch in.
Yeah.
Cool.
So next one is Cut My Lip, track 10. And this one, you know, a lot of, especially in the Blurry Face album, there's a lot of songs that are kind of like reggae inspired.
Yeah.
And this is, the instrumental is also kind of that way, reggae-ish. Yeah. But it's done really interestingly and kind of fun. That still has that like upbeat piano hits.
Yeah.
But it's done really well. Not that it wasn't done well before, but I think it's one of the better examples of them using reggae.
Yeah, that's
reggaeton. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just talking about like, you know, escaping to a better preferred life. Doesn't come without pain, doesn't come without trials, but just keep moving, keep pushing for it. And it can be hard and you might falter and end up hurting yourself more if you go back to where you were before, but it's still worth the effort and the to move forward and to escape whatever it is, whether it's Dima or other stuff.
Awesome.
And there's also a little bit of a connection to My Blood, where in My Blood he's talking about jumping into a lion's den.
Yeah.
But in this one he's saying, I don't mind at all. Lean on my pride. I'm a lion.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. But in that same way where he's like, I'll help you through your hardships.
Yeah.
You can lean on me for that.
So it is kind of interesting, and I don't know if that's the connection, but that they used a reggae beat because when he calls himself a lion, because the lion is big in the reggae symbolism, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's like God.
Yeah.
You know, it's a symbol of saying that he's the lion. You do a reggae beat, it kind of goes to the symbolism of reggae. So
yeah.
That's and Rastafarian symbolism would have lions in it. So
I think it's funny. Right before this album came out, he put out a tweet that he's like, on this album, I'm a vulture, I'm a lion, and there's a pet cheetah in my basement. So stay with me.
Awesome. That's good. I like pet cheetah. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Track 11 is Bandito.
Okay.
So in the world of Trench, banditos are rebels who have escaped Dima, who are like successfully out, and who help others to escape.
Okay.
So this is kind of talking about who they are, building in the lore of the world.
Yeah.
And there's two things I really love about it's the bridge. First of all, you get this calling where it's Salo Felina, is what he's saying, which it's based in the Somali language.
Okay.
But it's similar to what they did with their logo, where he's like taken these words and filled them with meaning.
Nice.
And so he has said, like, they don't talk about the meanings of their songs too much, but he has said that Salo Felina is what we cry out in trench when we are in need.
Okay.
So in a way, it's just kind of a little gibberish, but filled it with meaning to fit the context of the song. And it's also, I saw something saying that Tyler was a big fan of Sigur Rós.
Okay.
That's a group, like an Icelandic group. But the singer a lot of times sings in this like made up language called Hopelandic.
Okay.
That doesn't really have any rules or grammar, but it's just the syllables of it fit the song, and so it's not real language, but it's what fits the vibe.
Interesting.
And so I think that's partially some of the inspiration there too. And then you get the I created this world to feel some control, destroy it if I want. Yeah, from what I know, I believe this is one of the first songs written for the album.
Oh, okay.
I think he had this song or was working on the song when Blurry Face came out. So I think it's something he's held on to the whole time. It's like I'm creating this world, and if some point I come across as like, no, this isn't working, I can just get rid of it and be done with it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that was taken again in the intro of Clancy showed up.
Yeah.
Of Overcompensate. So here we go. We get to track 12, which is Pet Cheetah. Which is great.
Yeah.
I love this song. This is also kind of referenced on the Dima site. There's this like gif of a cheetah running, and it's these little letters kind of flickering really fast across the center of it.
Oh, cool.
And I think it spells it like, you still don't know his real name, do you?
Oh.
And in between each of the words, there was Nico, like Nico, like Nico. Just fun little tidbits.
Yeah.
So with this song, I'm inclined to just believe what he's saying straight out, that this song was written during like a bout of writer's block. And he's like, this isn't a great beat. I should get rid of it, but I'm just going to challenge myself to make something out of this.
Nice.
And make it into something usable. And it says it in the first verse where he's like, I can feel pressure start to possess my mind, so I'll take this beat I should delete to exercise, which is cool, like exercising his songwriting abilities, but also like exercising demons and whatnot.
That's neat.
So this song also is kind of a break in the whole concept of moving forward, where the chorus is like, no, I'll move slow.
Yeah.
Like, I want to stop time. Again, I think fitting into that like writer's block where he's like, I will get there. I will figure it out, but I just need time.
Yeah.
Just stopping time until he finds the problem and solving it from there.
Yeah. Very cool.
And then the second verse is where you get that Pet Cheetah line, but it started as a dare or like a joke between him and Josh, where he wrote this bar about having a pet cheetah named Jason Statham. And he was like, you got to use it in a song someday. And he's like, and I can never figure it out until this point. But it's really great, like a cheetah named Jason Statham, but he also turns it into this like metaphor for his creative process about how, and I think kind of like a lot of Jason Statham movies are like action movies. They're very fast paced. His creative process is very fast paced, like cheetahs. And,
right.
they're really cool, really good job.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then the ending, it goes from this like really beautiful cascading chorus. It's like one of the prettiest moments on the album to like one of the most demented moments on the album. It's wild, where he's doing the pet cheetah, the like cult-like chants.
Yeah.
And there's all this like crazy noises and glitchy drum hits coming in every direction. It's a wild song, like way to end a song, and it even ends with like this screaming that's just out of nowhere.
That's really it's really grabs you too.
Mm-hmm. I remember like so I was actually at this tour with Josie.
Okay.
And when the visuals for this one is like, we were kind of up and off to the side, but I feel like, man, if we were at a lower angle, I could have seen them a little bit better. Probably would have had nightmares.
Oh no.
Okay. I mean, they were rough.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. So we go on. We got track 13, which is Legend.
Okay.
So I think after all that darkness, all the like glitchy noisiness of Pet Cheetah, You get this super upbeat song while it's still kind of like tinged with sadness.
Yeah.
This is where he makes good on that sentiment from Neon Gravestones, where this song is all about Tyler's grandpa.
Mm.
And I think it's the grandpa that was on the Vessel album cover.
Yeah. Okay.
Saying he's a legend, but he wishes that his wife knew him before his grandpa started going through like dementia and changing as a person.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like regret in these verses where it's like he regrets like the song wasn't finished in time to show him. And he also didn't visit as much as he should have, because he's like, I'm afraid of you not recognizing me.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
Very much so.
It has a really sweet, the last verse that ends the song is really sweet. Like, it's then the day that it happened, I recorded this last bit. I look forward to having a lunch with you again.
Aw.
Yeah, so really sweet, really nice send off tribute to, you know, a very important person in his life. And
yeah, that's good. That's good to do, and good to hold up to the context of the, you know, don't give the everything to this person, give it to this person who deserves it in some way. So that's nice.
All right, last track.
Okay,
we're here. It is called "Leave the City." So, you know, obviously leaving Dima in time. Like I think by the end of this album, he's still not fully gone.
Yeah.
And it also has the sentiment that has been a part of the band forever is staying alive. Just that's part of the main chorus is, you know, in time I will leave the city. For now I will stay alive.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think the last verse again puts the whole album kind of in perspective. Like he's pretty much directly talking to his fans, where it's last year I needed change of pace, couldn't take the pace of change moving hastily. But this year, though I'm far from home, entrenched I'm not alone. These faces facing me, they know what I mean.
Yeah,
which has got to be, you know, as a fan, having him sing that to you is one thing, but actually being like facing the faces that he's talking about.
Yeah,
like you're providing me a lot of comfort while I'm far away.
That is neat, and does that thing that we've talked about the kind of nod and a wink to your fans, and hey, this one's more straightforward, but it's very good.
Yeah,
I like when they do that.
So yeah, and that's the album.
So and that reminded me, Janis Joplin used to say that like performing live was like making love to the audience, and that's kind of that comfort thing, is that you are kind of on there the stage and on your own, but there's some comfort because everybody's giving you love and
yeah,
all that.
Yeah.
So
there's been a so we went to see the last tour, Chloe and I, Clancy tour, I think is what it's called. And there's this like collective of fans who would go to every show. And at our show, they passed out these little see-through papers, like red and yellow. That was like, hey, during this song and this verse, hold it up. And so it'd be like showing these lights for Tyler and just kind of
okay,
little tributes to the band. So we had that one, but at another one I saw a video of they were doing the song Navigating, and in the bridge of that there's some lyric that's like everybody leaves.
Okay.
And so what that group did beforehand is they passed out these notes that were like, hold it up, it's like, we're not leaving you, or something like that.
Okay.
And there's this video of Tyler like seeing that, and then he's like can't really sing anymore because he's like about to start crying. Oh. So as dedicated as the fans are to the band, I feel like the band is just as dedicated to them.
That's very cool.
But yeah, it's just a killer album. You know, again, it was pretty much recorded entirely in secret as you can be.
Right.
Because he really wanted to, or they really wanted to avoid any like little comments that could have, you know, subconsciously influenced them into changing something. Like he had mentioned like there was a comment from one of his family members about Blurry Face where he's like, yeah, it's great, I can just put it on a workout and just listen to the whole thing through. And then he's like, and then I'll be working on a song and be thinking like, oh, can someone work out to this?
That's funny.
So I just kind of want to avoid that with this album, and didn't really show it to anybody until it was like, hey, this is done.
Yeah.
And I think it's also really like vindicating as a fan who loved everything they've done, even, you know, up until this point and past. And because I think they're always kind of treated as a little cringy, a little like fake deep, especially in their earlier eras.
Yeah.
But I always knew that like they're really, really talented, especially seeing them in like some live context. You can tell that there's a lot of energy and passion in their performance and in their songwriting.
Right.
And then seeing an album like this come out that is great and change the opinions on a lot of skeptics.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like we've been telling you, they're great.
They are, and they, like you said, the experimental part, they kept pushing different things, and not just a tempo change in tempo or key change.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's more than that, and it's being able to stay true to a narrative that just is fun for the fans and fun for listening to, but also creating great music that isn't hurt by the narrative.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's a really great move as artists to do something like this after a hugely successful album like Blurryface was.
Right.
Because they could have easily just gotten a bunch of like Blurryface had a lot of producers on it, a lot of high profile producers,
Right.
and they could have easily just done that again, with no issues. But they decided to like, no, we're actually going to make this one entirely in home by the band, and see what comes out of that.
So I just noticed that there's a new one coming out.
I think in just a couple weeks.
Yeah. So what do you think of what do you think will or hope for as they come out with new stuff? Knowing this history and analyzing this album, that kind of, I think this album more than Blurryface exposed the narrative
Yeah.
more fully. So what do you hope for?
I do know that they have said that this is going to be the end of the story.
Right.
With Breach. And so I kind of what I was hoping with Clancy is that I think as far as the story goes, I think they'll probably have the bishops defeated, but I hope that they also let Clancy die.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the ways, especially like when I heard overcompensate for the first time, what I thought is like overcompensating means that they're gonna retaliate and maybe over retaliate towards like what the bishops have been doing.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I feel like with this album, it might be more of that, maybe a little darker in that sense, where it's going to be like, we're going to kill these people. And
yeah. Well, there is a song, because they have the title track, or the track list up, called Center Mass.
Oh, yeah.
And center mass is a term for where all the shot goes out of.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what that term means.
Yeah. And the new song, I think it was the Contract is what they've put out so far.
Yeah.
Does sound a lot darker.
Okay.
There's like, he talks about like, I have a feeling the necromancer's outside.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So not that just like mentioning the necromancer makes something scary, but it does play into that image aesthetic.
Yeah. Interesting. I guess
so.
Center mass is the kind of the kill shot, the most vital area to hit.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that maybe it'll be a little darker. I don't think it'll be too dark.
No, it'll be hidden. Even if it's dark, it'll be still a good song. And,
yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. I'm very familiar with these, and we've spent a lot of time listening to them. But it's still good to kind of discover what they mean. So that's
yeah.
Neat.
I've always really loved like home recording albums.
Yeah.
Because like this especially is like really inspirational because Tyler uses Logic Pro and that's what I use, and I know he has the resources for a lot more like plugins and stuff.
Sure.
But he's also showed off his studio, and it's not that much.
No.
There's a couple keyboards and like something for his bass and some instruments, but it's a pretty like as far as home studio goes, it's a pretty basic home studio, and he still makes these incredible albums out of it.
Well, when you see what they did on that live bit where they have live created songs.
Yeah.
And that's not a whole lot of equipment, right?
Right, yeah.
To do that. And so to be able to kind of travel around and do that kind of thing, kind of like Reggie Watts does. He has a couple of items and he just makes it happen.
Yeah.
And Tyler showed the similar skill set.
Yeah.
But he is more opinionated though, because in that he's like, no, that's not the right sound. Okay, let's try. Like, which was interesting because he has a clearer vision. Like, yeah, Reggie Watts is taking chaos and making something out of it. He has a vision of what he has the right sound. And actually, not to go too far off, but I just watched an interview that went by. So it was Danny Elfman.
Oh yeah.
I know his name. I'm just drawing a blank. So there's a guy that Billy Corgan from
Oh yeah.
has a show like an interview show now.
Okay.
And so it's he's doing this the Magnificent Others. So you can go look that up. But
Hmm.
the Magnificent Others is what his show is, and he interviewed Danny Elfman, and he goes, "Is it what about Oingo Boingo breaking up, or you left, or you did this thing or this thing?" He goes, in a band, they're thinking that they have the right to have an opinion about how something should sound, but
Hmm.
both Billy Corgan and Danny Elfman are very strong in what they know is supposed to be, and they're like, "Well, I don't
Yeah.
know if this sound should be this way." He goes, "No, that's how it's supposed to be. You just need to work with it."
Yeah. Right.
And Danny Elfman started on his own and then joined Oingo Boingo. Like
Okay.
he did a soundtrack for a movie that his brother made
Mhm.
a long time ago, and he's a little bit he's wild.
Yeah.
And so he did that, and he's like, I control this. And so being in a band, Danny Elfman's like, I never wanted to be in a band. I wanted to be in a band for like 2 years and then go to a new one to try something new. So he's
Yeah.
very much, and so I think that like Tyler, that relationship between him and Josh is good because Josh isn't trying to control anything and is just kind of is a very good support.
Hmm.
And Tyler has a very clear vision.
Yeah.
And they're not fighting about that, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's really cool.
I think I remember reading something that when they were touring for 2 years straight with Blurry Face, they almost did break up because it was just that kind of thing. It was like this so much pressure and some differing opinions on what they did want the band to do, and so they were able to work it out eventually. And I think that Josh has had a lot more input on
That's cool.
the creative process, and I think it's turned out really well for them because ever since then I feel like they put out a lot of some of their best work since then.
Yeah, I hope that's what it is. I hope that they're able to be collaborative. Uh,
Hmm.
the dynamic on the live thing seemed very good.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I hope they find some other narrative to continue
Yeah.
on with. I hope this
Be really
isn't
cool.
the end of everything because they're really. I'd hate to lose that. Sure, they could make music on their own, but I hate to lose what this is. So
Yeah, I think it'll be really good. Yeah, I think it's only a couple of weeks. Isn't it like
yeah,
September
September
5th?
12th is
Wow.
what it says. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm gonna go. Now I'm traveling tomorrow. I'm gonna download a bunch of 21 Pilots to listen through.
I remember I did that same thing. You remember when I went to Minnesota
Yeah.
that one summer?
Yeah.
In like preparation for that, every time I had my little iPod Nano,
Yeah.
and it had all the Chili Peppers albums on it. So I I remember being like, I'm gonna be on a plane for so long. I'm just gonna make myself like all of these songs, so I can just put it on. I don't have to skip any of them, and I'll have enough music to get me through it.
That's awesome.
And so, like, for a couple of weeks on the bus home from school, I was like, I'm just gonna listen to all of it. I'm not hitting skip, and I'm gonna find some way to enjoy all of these.
That's hilarious. I've got something else picked, but
Okay,
I'm gonna beat your track list.
a longer
A lo-
album.
Well, I don't know if it's longer, but there's more tracks.
This
So
is like a punk album then.
no, well, you'll have to wait and see. it has punk influence, but
Yeah. I remember Elaine had a bunch of records, but she had the first Minor Threat
yes, yeah,
record, but it's like one of the 9-inch ones,
yes,
and that's the whole record.
Yeah.
When usually that would just be like 2 songs.
yeah. I can remember finding what looked like 45s,
Hmm.
size of album like records, but they're records and they're played at 33 and a third, not 45, and it's got like 6 or 8 tracks. There's like 6 tracks on the side, so it's a full 12 songs,
Yeah,
but on a tiny album. That's a classic punk thing. So
it's the best.
yeah.
So cool.
Well, that was a great discussion. I'm gonna have to go back and I was wanting to load some new songs for traveling, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll keep listening to it too.
I bet.
I have it on vinyl over here.
Nice.
It's great. It's a fun one.
Well, thanks for the conversation, and we still have to figure out an outro that's more more signature, but
More than just goodbye.
yeah.
Yeah.
Goodbye. See ya. Have a great day.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So any suggestions would be welcome. But all right, we'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Happy birthday
Thanks.
again.
Yeah, thank you.
All
Talk
right,
to you later.
see ya. Bye.
Bye.